Hey everybody, this is Jesse, and today I will be doing a review of the YoyoFactory OneStar. This is the Anne Connolly edition. It's purple. It's got her signature and two places on it, I think. Yep. And so it's a lower end on the price scale, but I would say kind of mid-range performance-wise. There are definitely worse plastic yo-yos out there. In fact, there are worse metal yo-yos out there. For $10, it's a pretty decent yo-yo. Now, it is an older model. It was part of YoyoFactory's Star sort of series of yo-yos, which included the Protostar, the Popstar, NorthStar, OneStar. Yeah, that's it. I think that's it as far as the Star sort of yo-yos go. And they all had this sort of really similar shape, which is the sort of, it's like a V shape. It's supposed to be like the top of a star placed in here, which was kind of interesting, I guess. But they're all pretty high quality yo-yos at a pretty reasonable cost. Like I said, this one is $10. It used to be $15. This yo-yo itself actually has been discontinued, but it lives on in the Sage from YoTrix, which is a very similar design, just has some small tweaks. But for $10, it's pretty fantastic. It does have vibe, of course. It's a plastic yo-yo. You're not going to get something completely smooth for $10, and you shouldn't expect it to be completely smooth. But it's still pretty great, pretty stable. It has a pretty nice spin time. It'll power through most combos, and it comes unresponsive, completely unresponsive. Mine actually came with a center track bearing. Most of them actually come with a center track bearing, which is, it really adds to the yo-yo as a whole. It's made of a very durable plastic that feels really nice in the hand, and the shape of it is also very nice. It's lightweight and plays very fast, which is good. It's stable, but it's not the most stable, and that sort of goes along with it being a little narrower than some yo-yos, which really doesn't play the detriment of the yo-yo. It's just something you should be aware of. What are some other things? For a plastic yo-yo, it has a pretty nice finish, I have to say. It's almost like a, I guess it's more the plastic they used here, but the texture in the gap is actually very nice. Other high-quality things about this yo-yo that I think really set it aside as far as lower-end plastic yo-yos go is these caps aren't removable, which I guess some people don't like. But it's also nice because the removable caps have a tendency to make the yo-yo vibe a lot more than it needs to, and that's not the case here, which is very nice. It is made in China, but all YoyoFactory yo-yos, I think, are made in China and designed in the USA. Still very high quality. It's made of like a polycarbonate plastic, like the One, if you're familiar with that. This was basically a mix between the One and the NorthStar or Protostar. And it really shows, because the One is a very durable yo-yo, and the NorthStar and the Protostar both play pretty phenomenally for about $40. And I just kind of feel like for $10, you're going to have a hard time finding a yo-yo much better than this. Now, you can find yo-yos for a little more that are play better than it. For instance, the Replay is, I want to say, $15.99, $16. And it plays, I would say, better than this, but it's not like massively better. It's just there are noticeable bonuses or noticeable things that make the OneStar or the NorthStar or the Replay a little better than this. But for me personally, I actually like this more because the shape is something that I'm a bigger fan of. But yeah, so for $10, it's pretty fantastic. Like I said, it's dead unresponsive, has a pretty decent spin time. You can crank out some pretty rough combos on it, and it'll power through them no problem. It's got a nice finish. A wide enough gap. This is a yo-yo I think I would recommend to beginners, because this is the sort of shape that really assists in making string catches and such, and the gap width is wide enough to facilitate learning tricks, so that if you have small inaccuracies in where you hit the string, it's not really going to throw it off too much, which is really nice. So as you guys know, I rate yo-yos on a buy, wait for sale, wait for deep sale, and never touch rating. This is a buy. For $10, I know it's, like I said, I know it's discontinued, but for $10, you'd have a hard time finding a better yo-yo, really. I guess the Yo-Yo Jam Classic is also $10, but I prefer this infinitely over the Classic. And Yo-Yo Jam isn't even a company anymore, so there's that. But yeah, it's definitely a really solid yo-yo for $10. and I think it would be a pretty decent yo-yo at 15, which is originally what it was sold at. Now, this yo-yo I think is 5 or 6 years old, so it's definitely got some age on it. But if you can find one in good condition, it'll probably become one of your more favorite plastic yo-yos. I know this one's right up there with. It's not like Skyva or Yeti or Yeti 2.0, but it's definitely higher on my list of favorite plastics. But yeah, so it's a buy, especially at the price it's at now, $10 on Yo-Yo Expert. I don't know what it is on other websites, but they are not being produced. If you can get a Sage, yeah, I would definitely recommend that one too. I have played with the Sage. I don't own one, but it is so similar to this it's got small tweaks that really just sort of emphasize the unique features of this yo-yo that I would definitely have to recommend both of them. So, like I said, this one's a buy with pretty much no caveats. If you like plastic yo-yos and you like cheap yo-yos, you like cheap plastics, this'll do you pretty well. So that's it for me, guys. Thursday video will be coming out. We're going to be doing a discussion. I have yet to decide on what, but I'll do my best to make it a good one. So this is Jesse, signing out.